Hey guys, welcome back to another clip of Schach-manuel-lernen. Today I'm gonna show you both classical games which I played in January 2024. So here I played with the black pieces, again in the winter season. Was classical King's Indian, well-known theory, and a3 is a bit a sideline, but I prepared it. e5, d5, a5. Like now the idea is to bring the knight to a6. So g4, knight a6, bishop e3. And here the engine says main variation is knight d7, a3, and then go with this knight there. Instead I played it directly. It's not a huge difference, but yeah. Here are several ideas. Engine says c6 and then bishop d7 and continue a bit like that. Knight e8 is a typical move. Prepares f5, and the difference to the normal King's Indian is normally he castles short and keeps this pawn here and plays f3. But this is a bit a different variation. So bishop e2. Here I should have played immediately f5. Rook g1, f4, capture. Would be a bit better for white, but not a problem. If he captures here, I can recapture and then close it with f4, and then my bishop becomes quite strong. He played g5, I play f5, h4, going with knight back. So now is a threat f4 in order to capture the bishop in e3. Of course, he realized that, f3, and now I could play f4, then just bishop f2, and a bit wasting time here, but according to engine it's not a problem. What instead came in the game, I played c6 and engine says everything's alright. Rook c8 was a bit a mistake. We will see a bit afterwards why. Capture, and I should simply capture with pawn. The variation that the engine says I saw, and there white is just better. c5 attacks the knight, and when I capture, he can give here a check, and my pawn structure on the queen side is completely damaged. So I didn't want it that's why I recaptured with bishop. But c5 unfortunately comes anyway. And here I got a bit in trouble, like I captured, and now he has this annoying check. I can't play d5 because he is 3 times on this square and I'm simply twice, so that's not an option. So king h8 looks logical. Then he plays f5. Of course he wanna capture and use that afterwards the pawn would be pinned. And for counterplay I captured. And here the best move for white would have been rook captures b5, bishop a2 with advantage for white. Instead he played f4, and I saw that coming. And here you can pause the video for yourself. You have a really nice resource in order to save the game for the black pieces. White's threat is quite simple, is queen captures and captures with checkmate. It's like I played this move, which is wrong because he captures. We will see afterwards how the game continued. We have a wonderful tactic with knight takes e4. So the idea is white gave up a pawn here, and now he gave up a second pawn, and it works because if queen captures, we can bring the knight back. We're protecting the checkmate, we're attacking the queen, and if he captures, then the rook is attacked and the queen is attacked. So let's say queen h2, capture, capture, and now we have a material imbalance, like he has a bishop and a knight, and I have for that a rook and 3 pawns. So that should be enough, and it's really good for black. Yeah, other options here, like if he captures, I can just capture, and if he captures, I not capture the knight, but I capture the bishop. And if now this move comes, I can simply, yeah, either play this, but what's the best is h6. And in case he captures, I will simply play this move. Here everything is covered thanks to the opponent's pawn. And here I'm still under pressure, but I have a pawn, I'm a pawn up, and yeah, much better than the game, of course. So it's really not easy to capture here with the knight, and then sacrifice the knight on f6 in order to win his rook. But okay, I made this mistake, and then it went quite fast. Here I'm forced to play h6, queen g6, and now the threat is rook captures, bishop, queen, and then it's checkmate. So I played d5, bishop captures knight, I capture, he can capture here. If I recapture, yeah, he will simply recapture with pawn, and my rook is attacked and everything is falling apart. And here he has queen e6 check, and yeah, it's game over, because only legal move is this, and after this the game is anyway over. So yeah, here I missed the defensive tactic, unfortunately. That was, yeah, here in this moment, and then I unfortunately lost the game. Then we switched to the second one. Funny enough, I had 2 King's Indian games in a row. Here that was complete mainline. When stuff is mainline and so on, I don't really explain it to you guys, because there are tons of theory and the videos would just be too long. So until here, everything is theory, often played. And here he played a4, and a4 is a bit unusual, because normally you play c5 in order to attack the pawn on d6. A4, here I simply should have attacked with h5, c5, rook f7. I played rook f7 first, a5, now with h5 is still a good move, but I played bishop f8, which you play normally when he plays c5, but the thing was, his intention was not really to play c5, and that's why kind of the bishop here is not doing a bad thing, and I just lack of one move. You will see a bit later why. c5, and now somehow I had in mind that I shouldn't capture. By capture would have followed king h8, knight d3 attacks this pawn here, and now you see if the bishop would be here, I don't have to worry about this pawn. In this case I have to play it like that, and white is just better. h5 would have been another option, and after c6 capture. I saw this variation, but I didn't really like it because of this hole. And yeah, white has always this kind of ideas. I played instead knight g6, and this is now a mistake because he can play c6. Before it was not possible because the knight was guarding the square. So if I capture, it would have been better still. And after capture, king h8, not to run into bishop c4 stuff. b4, knight f6, and yeah, it's playable. I just lost important move with bishop f8, and yeah, it's a different game. Instead I played b6, and from here it goes down with the quality. Of course it captures. I saw that. I'm not allowed to recapture with this pawn, because then the rook would capture my rook. He recaptured. Now he can play the annoying move bishop a6, because this is my trump card, if you want to say so, in King's Indian, and he has now no squares, so in long term I have to exchange these two pieces. h5, capture, queen a4, and now I get here with trouble. Yeah, I can try to defend it with queen c7, but then knight b5 is coming, and so I decided, okay, let's go all in g4. I voluntarily sacrificed this pawn. And here I should have played just rook b8, bishop f2, and g3 for complete counterplay, sacrifice another pawn, but in order to attack. Here, second mistake followed. I captured on f3, and then I just help him developing his pieces. Rook b8, here the idea was, in case he captures, I can play this and he will have problem with his pieces. Something like that, and now he just lose material. He saw that, so he played bishop f2, and then I played queen g4, provoke h3, went back. Bishop b5, a6, knight a7. And now after queen takes here, I activate my knight, that his knight here stucks a bit by the edge of the board. Queen a5, I capture the pawn. Rook b1, of course he won't exchange everything. I have to exchange now something, and rook b1 is quite nice move of him, because I'm not able to take this pawn, otherwise I would run into a fork. So that was well played from him. I played queen c4, rook b7, and now here, yeah, I can't move the knight because he will just trade it. So I played rook g7 in order that renew the threat of capturing on e4. Queen a5 attacks the knight. Then I gave a check. Here I hoped a bit for king h2, king f1, and like if he would capture something like that, then I can play this move with this idea. He played bishop e1, I went back, bishop f2, and now he went with queen back. And now last mistake of the game, queen a3, and he can simply capture the knight. And if I recapture, he has this move, and that was the end of the game, because this square is guarded by queen and this square is guarded by knight. So I can't go with my queen to one of these two squares, and if I can't, he just win the rook, and it's completely won. So here my mistake was bishop f8 in this game, and afterwards that I allowed him to play c6 and exchanging these bishops. So yeah, it was a bad start for me in the year 2024 with 2 losses in January, and I hope I will do it better in February. Have a wonderful Sunday, take care, and see you soon, guys.